Hey friends! Thank you again for joining me for NapKim Math. I was told that I am kind of in a cozy niche. Hey Napping Ood, thank you so much for joining. And I actually loved that. I love the cozy aspect of this. I've sometimes been told that I have the voice for NPR or that helps my coworkers fall asleep while they're watching this stream. So hopefully it can get you on a good path of understanding Balatro, have a fun, chill time with me, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over to my browser because for those of you, well, thank you for saying I have a soothing voice. For those of you who haven't been in here before, I track my gameplay data right now manually, but I'm also building a mod to eventually do that automatically, so I don't need to spend lots of time every week tracking, because it's a lot, but it is fun and I enjoy it. So for my friend Kat, we are gonna play the Checkered Deck today. On Tuesday we unlocked it, and so today we're gonna play it. So I'm just gonna enter in what deck and stake we're playing, and then copy and paste what time we are starting. And this is the It's Gonna Be May edition of NapKim Math. Gotta throw that joke in there. All right, going to switch over and we'll go ahead and get started. Yes, you can you can pull my NSYNC jokes from my cold, dying hands when I eventually get there. I will always make them. All right, we'll go ahead and play the small blind. And for those of you who haven't played this deck before, it is called the Checkered Deck because it's all spades and hearts. And so it's very easy to get flushes, and so it's great. There's 2 of every card that starts in the deck. Of 2 of every card in both the suits, so 4 total of every card, which is what you get normally. But so we have like 2 aces of spades and 2 aces of hearts, and that's the same pattern for every single card. So I don't know if this will be high enough to actually get us through this round in one hand, so I'm going to discard a couple times to try and get a couple of higher spades. I'm actually going to sort by suit to make it a little bit easier. All right, that should be more than enough. It just made me nervous with all those 4s in there that I wouldn't have enough. And last time we did slow it down a little bit because we had, I forget the name of the boss blind where it flips them over, but that way we could tell which cards were working. Oh my goodness. Right off the bat, Hanging Chad. I'm going to go ahead and get Hanging Chad and Sakin Buskin. Why not? Retrigger all played face cards. So lots of retriggers going around. All right. I'm going to go ahead and skip to get a free shop the next time we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play that. And off we go. So this is going to be like all flushes, unless we run into a situation where we can't repeat the same poker hand. So I'm going to go ahead and get Mars since it's free. If it's free, it's me. And I don't want to be getting anything that's not spades or hearts. So I don't want to get that queen, and I'm going to pass on the 4 because it's low. And I'm going to pass on the stone card too. It's okay to skip those packs. Oh my gosh. It is like the universe is lining up. Like, this is like the best start I've ever had in a game. So we got photograph. So we get ×2 multi for the first played face card. And if we put it first, it'll get retriggered twice by hanging Chad. And then Sock and Buskin will retrigger it again. Plus, our face cards are going to become gold cards when stored from Midas Mask, which will help you get extra money as you're going through. So, I really hope I don't screw this up. We'll go ahead and skip coupon and go ahead to our big blind. Where this gets tricky though is especially if you start building up your Jupiters, so those are your flush planets, and you end up getting a straight flush. It has a different, a straight flush is different than how a flush is scored. And so you always have to be careful too that while you're doing these builds that you're looking out for those straight flushes. All right, Queen of Hearts that re-triggers, yes please. More of that. All right, we're gonna get our Steel Jack. So we'll go ahead and get Troubadour, and now I'm gonna sell him to get Card Sharp. And Card Sharp we get ×3 multi if the played poker hand has already been played this round, which, since we're playing straights are us. The second time, if we need to play a straight or a flush a second time in a round, we'll get ×3. So, like, this is crazy. Okay, we can only play one hand. We gotta make sure that we have a face card first, otherwise this is not gonna work. We do have more hearts than we do spades. So even though we already have a flush using spades, I'm actually going to discard all of them because we do need that face card. All right, so now we have a bunch. I'm going to get rid of those two. And I'm not going to play my Jack of Hearts. That's steel because it would be turned into a gold card instead, which I want to retain the steel. And yeah, we should have more than enough with all of our re-triggers and everything. Yeah. Over 10 times what we needed. Alright, 4 of a kind. We don't really need. Mail-in rebate. Could be good. I'm going to go ahead and open up a planet pack. And of course we do not have a flush in here. I'm going to go ahead and get Uranus just in case we run into the boss blind where we can't repeat. And I'm going to go ahead on to the next round. So, the goad, all spade cards are debuffed, which half of our deck is spades. So we do have to be a little cautious with that. I am going to skip to get an extra voucher on our next hand, or our next shop, because I really want to find, I think it's Telescope, where your most played hand always appears in your planet packs. Nope, we just got +1 hand size. I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. We're gonna skip Ride the Bus. We'll go ahead and open up our planet packs. Pair, straight flush. I'm gonna get straight flush because we might actually end up getting one of those instead of a flush. And then we'll level that up as well. And I'll get Saturn while I'm in here to be safe. More so if we do run into that other boss blind. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Two pair, no, but I think I am going to get rid of Midas Mask now because we do have a good amount of gold cards, and since this is specific to flushes, Droll will make sure to move him to the left of Card Sharp, since you always want your plus multi to the left of your times multi. Then we'll open up our jumbo, and we'll go ahead and get Empress. And I see I have a couple of more people who have joined. Thank you so much for joining. This is NapKim Math. We're a little bit on the cozier side of gaming, but still have a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're here. During the week, we play Balatro, and on the weekends, we look at Balatro data. So there is a math portion of NapKim Math, but I don't push it too hard during the week, unless I'm trying to optimize my math. Feel free to lurk, or also feel free to say hello. It's up to you. I'm generally a lurker, but I do love conversation with those of you who choose to be here. All right, let's go for the... All right, so we have a lot of options here. I am actually going to go ahead and use Empress because I want my retrigger card to have the multi on it as well. And so this is probably going to be an absurd amount of chips for anti-4. Yeah. 10 times more than we needed. All right. Even though I do love Abstract Joker, I don't think he makes sense right now. Actually, he's going to give us more than Droll Joker, so maybe I should go ahead and get him. Because that way you don't have to rely on a flush every single time. And we'll go ahead and get some lucky cards in our deck, because I do love some lucky cards. And then let's see. I'm going to go ahead and, because we are airing a little bit more towards hearts, change those to hearts. And we got an achievement because we unlocked every single tarot card. And we unlocked a couple jokers for having more than a certain amount of hearts in our deck. So, fun times. The good times keep coming with this deck. Cats, I'm so glad that you suggested that I play Checkered Deck next. I'm glad I could do this for you, because I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but this deck is turning out to be fantastic. I say that, and then I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to jinx it. All right, what are our upcoming blinds? Okay, the wheel is coming up. I'm going to go ahead and get Grabber to get an extra hand. Going to pass on Earth. Finally, a Jupiter. We haven't been able to level up our flush at all, which we're already in anti-5. All right, so I think I'm going to make our 3 a gold jack. And then we'll go ahead, let's go ahead and skip our to get another Arcana pack. So we already have those having a enhancement on them. I'm going to go ahead and use Empress on the 10s just so we have a little bit of backup in case we encounter my nemesis, Boss Blind. And so we do have a flush. And even though our 10 has a 4 multi, because we have photograph, definitely going to put the jack first. And I'm going to, I should have more than enough without the queen, so I'll put my lucky jack first and leave the queen here so we get some extra money. Keep on rolling. Alright, I will go ahead and get the glass ace of hearts since we are playing hearts and spades, and I'm going to go ahead and skip this pack. Alright, so because that goes to the top, that means that this is a heart. So I'm going to go ahead and get, I mean, we do have more hearts than we have spades left in our deck. But because we have known spade face cards, I'm going to go ahead and play those. I'm going to leave at least one of those gold cards, because we are going to have to play another hand. And we won't need the steel card in our hand, so we can go ahead and play that. Alright, what's coming up next? Okay, the head where all heart cards are debuffed. Hopefully we don't run into any problems with that, but we will make do. Let's see. Okay, I am going to convert these to spades to try and combat the balance a little bit. And I don't want to do either of those. I don't want to set my money to 0 and get rid of any of these. And while enhanced face cards would be nice, I don't want any other suits coming into my deck right now. Go ahead and get an extra consumable slot and then keep going. Now the great thing about Checkered Deck is if you have some of your hand-specific multi-cards like the duo, where you get ×2 for playing a pair, you get those if you don't play that hand in a round that you win. And so it is great when you play something like the Checkered Deck where you are going to either play all or majority of flushes so that you can get some of your other ones unlocked. So you get those if like you don't play a pair your entire run, and it really helps some of those that might be more difficult to unlock. You go ahead and re-roll. I'm gonna get Hanged Man. I'm gonna go ahead and get Mercury, just in case. And this is where the fun begins. So, Gross Michael is going to be the same amount as Abstract Joker, and like we've seen, he can disappear. So we won't pass him up. We could get Lucky Cat. Let's see how many lucky cards we have. We only have 2 lucky cards right now, so I think I am going to pass on Lucky Cat. All right. And we still have some more hearts than we have spades. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to get rid of our 5 and our 3 because we do have the all hearts are debuffed in our boss blind. And if we can counteract that a little bit, that would be good. So we have the same amount of both left. I think I'm going to go for spades. Okay. And put my lucky queen first. Keep our king there so we get $3. And keep our jack there, obviously. More than enough. Alright. Hologram has served us well before. But because we are more selective, I don't think that he's the best play right now. Lucky Cat, I feel like we need some more lucky cards to make him useful. I'll just level up Straight Flush. Because we haven't had one yet, but maybe we'll get one. Alright. So I think I am going to add our Blue Seal Jack, even though there are a couple of good options. Oh yeah, we have 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get our 10 so we can potentially get another Tarot, and we are not adding more hearts right before hearts are debuffed. Alright. So we got some spades. And the thing is, we could still play this and we just wouldn't get the effective photograph. So I'm gonna see if I can discard enough hearts to get one more spade. Okay. Whew. Just one more. That's okay. It was all we needed. Alright. Play only one hand type this round. I think we can do that. I think we're setting ourselves up for success with that one. Man, we are not drawing any flushes in these. I'll go ahead and get Earth. Finally. We do need to level up Jupiter a little bit. So we do have more hearts still overall. So I'm actually going to get rid of the spades, and that way we get a free tarot card where we can convert more to hearts. So I'm actually going to, well, we could always get a straight flush if we wanted, but I want a face card, and also with Card Sharp, we want to err on playing flushes unless we're trying to only play straight flushes. Because you lose that 3 multiplier if you are playing different hands. Right, we do have Smiley Face. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of Abstract for Smiley Face. And, alright. I think what we have is working really well. We did just discover this joker earlier, but I don't really want to give up anything I have right now. And I'm going to add a blue seal to our steel jack. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. So this is good that we're holding both of these. We can convert up to 3 cards to hearts or spades, which is perfect in this deck. So I'm actually not going to play the glass 9 because I kind of want it to stick around if we need it. Yeah, that's why Smiley Face is great to have with Photograph, Hanging Chad, and Sock and Buskin. Let's see. Alright, we'll go ahead and get our glass Queen of Spades. Create a copy of a random joker to destroy all other jokers, not at this time. Add a red seal to 1 card in your hand, which is fantastic. We'll go ahead and put that on our king. I'm going to go ahead and get seed money. That will help us earn a little bit more interest. So we can only play 1 hand type this round. Oh no, what are we going to do? Usually I default to 2 pairs, but we don't need to do that this time. I'm going to discard my 9. Alright, so we got the ability to make some lucky cards. I'm gonna not play my glass ace because I want him around just in case. I don't want him to break. Alright, we do have more spades left than hearts, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those, and that way we keep our blue seal jack just in case, to give us a Jupiter, which we desperately need right now. I'm actually going to make both of those lucky cards. And go ahead and play. And with card sharp, we should be well in the clear. Alright, get ourselves a free Jupiter. Okay, all cards debuffed until 1 joker is sold. I can deal with that. I was so afraid, now that we're on ante-8, I can actually say it without being afraid it's going to happen. I was so afraid the plant was going to come up where all face cards were going to be debuffed when we have 1, 2, 3 that completely rely on face cards. So, whew. I'm going to go ahead and get our blank voucher because, you know, if you know, you know. Alright. None of these beat what we currently have. And I'll go ahead and get another Jack of Hearts. Why not? Alright. Now this is the tricky part. I think I'm going to... Yeah, we definitely have more hearts left, so I'm gonna discard those. I kind of want to see if we can pull another face card so I don't have to use my... There we go. I want to keep the blue seal in my hand, and before I play, I'm gonna sell the moon because we don't want any clubs. And that way, we have that empty slot up there for when we create the Jupiter planet card. right. Of course, we don't get the Hanged Man to destroy any of these little cards, and Empress. Actually, put Empress on those two. Don't have any face cards to put Empress on. Alright, well, all the face cards here already have something. Strength. We'll go ahead and use Empress again. And yes to the Hermit. Go ahead and get Devil to make another gold card. Temperance, my queen. Only $12, but still, that's something. Bean. We have one more, so I'm going to go ahead and play and then use up all my money next time. Alright, so we could do a couple things. We could go ahead and play. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and play and go ahead and turn my 7 into a gold card. This way we get a flush going. Well, I was going to say so that card sharp will work, but that was more than enough than we needed because we have been leveling up Jupiter. I'll still go ahead and get Mercury just in case. A little bit of extra insurance. Alright. So we could get rid of our 5 and 7, or we could, I think because we do have our red seal king there, we're going to go ahead and use Empress. I haven't seen a negative all game, but that's okay. And so because this is ante-8 right before our boss blind, and we are not going into endless madness, worst possible timing ever. I'm going to spend down all of our money since we're not going into endless. And not even a negative joker to spare. How rude. How rude. Alright. So I could play and see if we could get it just based off of how much we've leveled up our flush. Because it is so heavily reliant on face cards, I don't think that that's the best play. I think I am going to get rid of Smiley Face because I think the others will be a little bit more, well, we're going to win it in one hand with our Glass Queen, so we don't even need to worry about that, but we could have played to see how far we could have gotten with not selling a Joker yet, but I wanted it to be a nice end to the game. Alright, so we won. We ended. For those of you who have joined in since we started, I track how everything goes manually so that we can analyze it on the weekends. And it only takes a minute or two right now. I go back afterwards and get some more information, and then we analyze it on the weekends and hopefully have fun doing it. Alright, most important part is copying the seed, because I have a feeling people are going to like this seed. Alright, our best hand, 6, 5, 3, 6. we played Full House the most, or sorry, Flush the most, seeing if you were paying attention. Wouldn't have it any other way. Nice. Alright, we made it to T9, round 20. We were not defeated, and we had $5 left in our pocket. And we are going to have we did, I might have to check what the achievement was, but we unlocked, or we played every single tarot card. So we can check on that. I'm going to go to the main menu and it'll tell us what we unlocked. So we did unlock, and I need to double check this Joker's name. I forget what he is. I do play him a lot. But then we have our, I think it's, I'll have to double check on that one too. I thought it had heart in the name, but I will double check on that. And so this is where we start unlocking the hands that I was talking about because we played all flushes. I'll have to check on that one too. I will go back and find all of those. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play another checkered deck run. Let's play red stake, so a little bit more difficult. But I feel like we got it with this guy. I say that, and now I'm probably going to crash and burn in the first couple hands, but that's the fun in it. All right, we'll switch back over to just Balatro and go ahead and get started. And I did see that the goat is coming up, so we will be debuffing our spades right off the bat. But that's okay. We can handle that. I'm going to go ahead and try to build up a little bit of money first. And I do have more spades left, even though I don't like getting rid of a king. And let's see if we can get, I'll go ahead and get business card to maybe get us some money. And even though I like to build up money first, that was not a good play because neither of those will be helpful in this run if we're playing all flushes. So I'm going to go ahead and buy Mad Joker just so I can sell him. Alright, get rid of those debuffed spades. Get a little money from business card, and I'll go ahead and play this flush. Get 140 chips. I am gonna... That won't be enough to win with one more hand, so I'm gonna try and discard to try and get hearts instead. That way we'll get extra chips from non-debuffed cards and keep rolling. Because if I have one hand left, I'll get an extra $1. And some may call me frugal, some may call me cheap, but I like to make sure that I have enough cash in my pocket for these. So I don't like to go further than our small blind without having a joker that will give us some extra oomph. We'll go ahead and get Vagabond. And because he is going to give us 50 chips from being a foil. And we'll go ahead and get mail and rebate so we get a free tarot card from him. Why not? Alright, now mail and rebate. Let me discard my 3. And we have enough for another flush. Alright, we have the most hearts left. So go ahead and play those. And because we do have 2 money gaining jokers, I'm not super concerned about going down too low in the monies. We'll get Swashbuckler, get a little bit of extra multi, and then go ahead and play the next hand. There's a potential for a straight flush there if we were to get a 5 of spades, but the odds of that are pretty slim. And I didn't even check my mail and rebate. I don't play mail and rebate enough to constantly check. Obviously, we're gonna get Jupiter. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use Overstock to get more options here. We'll double our money. And now I'll go ahead and get Fortune Teller to get, right now it's +1, but hey, every single one counts. Alright, first hand is drawn face down. I'm just going to discard. And because we don't know, well actually, they are lower than a jack, so that means that these are definitely spades. The fun part of sorting, you can kind of tell, especially if you're playing flushes, what your cards are. Alright, Hanging Chad. He's back. I am going to go ahead and get rid of Vagabond then. He has served his purpose. And I'm going to sell mail and rebate, get our trading card, and go from there. Alright, so the arm, awesome. Decrease the level of our poker hand, which right now we just have flushes built up once, but I need to remember that next time we go into the shop. Alright, so I'm gonna destroy our 2, get $3. And because we don't have, actually I'm gonna put my king first because of business card. We'll get a 1 in 2 chance of getting $2. So even though we only got $2, he scammed me. Alright, there it worked 2 out of 3 times. So it all evens out. Alright. So we don't want to play Obelisk because it's better if you're playing a variety of different hands, which we are definitely not doing. I don't want to open up my Celestial pack now because we do have the arm coming up. Alright. I definitely don't want to get any diamonds. I think I'm going to pass on the 10 of spades because I am trying to fix this deck a little bit more than other times. Hermit, yes please, always, unless I have less than $6. Especially with Fortune Teller. Go ahead and get the Chariot. think I like business card better right now than some of those. Right, we could get the idol, which may have a better chance of working because we do have only 26 different options instead of 52. But I think I might need to pass on that. However, I think I am going to get rid of Fortune Teller and get Misprint for now. I'm debating Blackboard. I think I am going to go ahead and sell our trading card and get Blackboard, because he has served us well in other games so far. So we have 5. I'm going to see if, okay, cool. That works out well. I'm going to go ahead and make my, actually I'm going to save Chariot and put my queen first, so business card has a better chance of working. Getting rid of all of my hearts so that Blackboard will work. And so this should be more than enough to get through the round. 4 times as much as we needed. Alright. Could get hologram, which is really nice for scaling, especially this early. I'm going to think about that for a second. Alright, I'm going to get rid of our 7 and our 5 with, or sorry, that I thought that was Hangman for a second. Never mind. We'll go ahead and put Empress on our Queen and King. And go ahead and use Magician on our King and Jack. I'm really debating hologram because I can't be adding diamonds and clubs willy-nilly. I could get magic trick, so playing cards could be purchased in the shop. So it is a good combo if spades and hearts come around. So maybe I should do that. I think I'm gonna get rid of business card, get hologram, and then get magic trick and see how that goes. All right. This is the fun part because we are going to play flushes, but we're going to decrease. We've only increased it once, which kind of stinks, but it happens. And I definitely should not have made a heart a steel card. I was not thinking when I did that, but I'll go ahead and play them so Blackboard will work. Really, I'd like to start trying to get rid of all my hearts. Well, this is interesting. Smeared Joker pops up, which he can be super helpful if you start wanting to add other suits in your deck, but I don't think I want to. I'm going to go ahead and buy Emperor, but not use them since we only have 2 slots. And I'm going to convert my 6 to a king. I'm going to use my Emperor. We'll keep that. We'll get rid of the moon. We don't want clubs. And then I think I'll go ahead and I'm going to make one of these a glass card. Just for fun. Open this up. And I'm going to go ahead and get the multi-5 because it has a blue seal. Since hologram, we still want to keep scaling. All right, this is where it's going to get interesting. No repeat hand types in the eye upcoming. So we may break our streak of only playing flushes, but if that happens, that's okay. Because we already played one entire run without playing anything but a flush. So unlocked a bunch of good stuff. Alright, I will go ahead and get the 4 of hearts for my hologram. And we'll get our gold wild king. Gold seal wild king. Alright. This will work nicely with blackboard. And really that should be enough to get us out of this round. Alright, so we have a couple decisions we can make. We can get rid of either swashbuckler or misprint for Smiley Face. Let me go ahead and open up my Celestial Pack first. And of course there's no flushes in there, but that's okay because we might need something besides a flush for our next round. I'm going to go ahead and get 2 pairs just in case. I'm going to open up our Buffoon Pack first. Ooh, Blueprint. Beautiful. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Misprint. Get Blueprint. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Swashbuckler and get Smiley Face. And we'll make sure before we play every hand that if we can't use blackboard, we'll move. I'm going to keep Blueprint on hologram so I don't accidentally forget to move Blueprint. Okay. So blackboard is not going to work. I think we might have enough with what we have. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We can always play a pair of kings if we don't get enough, but we got more than enough. I gotta trust my math. Alright, we do have straight flush and flush, so I'll go ahead and get those. I'll get straight flush before flush, and that way, if one of our Arcana packs has the Fool, we can get the... which it does. That way we can get a flush again. I don't often pass up my lucky cards, but when I do, it's to help scale my run a little bit better. Alright, we could make a steel card, a glass card, or play Wheel of Fortune. I think I'm going to make our 10 a steel card. And let's see, what do we have coming up? Lose $1 per card played. That's actually not bad. However, I am going to go ahead and get Director's Cut. So if we run into a blind we don't like, we can always roll again. Alright, because we already played the no repeat hand types, I'm going to go ahead and pass on Mercury. That way we can save our money. And I'm going to skip our small blind, so we potentially, if we beat the tooth, we'll get $25. Actually, let's go ahead and skip both of those. Why not? Mo money, mo problems. All right, I'm gonna move blueprint to blackboard because we're gonna play our flush using hearts. Have no red cards left in our hand, so blackboard works nicely. Now we have a lot of money. We're rolling in the dough. All right. I haven't discovered DNA, but it's not really the card I want right now. Go ahead and get seed money. Let's see what's coming up. Extra large blind, which isn't that extra large right now, so that's okay. All right. So we have clubs and diamonds, but we do have the sun. Can I convert? No, I can't use it in here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get one of these and use the sun if it comes up to convert it, since we do have that option. I don't like putting, and again, I don't love putting those in my deck, but because we do have the sun and hologram, it's helping scale hologram, I'm okay with that. Go ahead and skip those. Go ahead and get justice. And because we have seed money, I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next round. And I'll skip to help build hologram a little bit better. Okay, finally there's some options that are spades and hearts and not diamonds and clubs. All right, and we unlocked a joker for having in our full deck at least 30 spades, which is nice. Let's see if we can get blackboard to work. No, it didn't like me. Okay, I'm gonna move this over to hologram. That is quite all right. Because we have more than enough to be able to do that a couple times and try it out. All right. Don't want to add my 8 of diamonds. Because this is wild, I'll go ahead and add him. Technically, he shows up under diamonds, but he'll work for any flush. See, the one thing I'm not sure about with Ancient Joker is if Ancient Joker only works for the suits that are currently in your deck. I would get him if I knew he would just play hearts and spades once I got rid of those two. Even with the wild, I'm not sure how he'd handle that. But I think I'm going to have to pass because of that uncertainty. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, we could play it straight if we wanted to. I'm going to convert him to hearts. And then I am going to see if I can get a heart pop up. And that way we can use blackboard. And let's see how much this gets us. And I should have moved blueprint. Actually, no. Hologram is now 3.25, so he can stay on hologram instead of blackboard. That was more than enough than we needed. Okay, 1 in 7 cards gets drawn face down. Alright, so I am going to get rid of Smiley Face for our Bloodstone. That's what it's called. So there's a 1 in 2 chance every played heart card gets 1.5 multi, which can be super helpful. So we'll go ahead and get that. get our king of hearts, and then go ahead and get our 6 of diamonds. Level up that flush. And we'll go ahead and get honed to see if some interesting things start popping up a little bit more frequently. Go ahead and play. We actually do have a flush, and blackboard will work. I'm actually going to put this guy first so we get more money. And yeah, that bloodstone really elevated our score by playing hearts. We could also get our arrowhead, but I don't want to get rid of anything that we currently have for that. Same with those. So I'm gonna have to pass. Alright. We're gonna get Hermit. Because I was gonna say, because we have blackboard, I'm hesitant to add too many hearts to our hand if we don't have to. Alright, we'll go ahead and double our money. Well, $20. Not really doubling right now. And re-roll a couple times. And then go ahead in here. Yeah, see, this is where our Queen of Clubs, I definitely need a different option to get rid of her. Alright, and so this is cool because we do have Bloodstone. Our Wild King will act as a heart. And so I'm going to go ahead and play those. And so there's a chance that could happen 3 times, which it did, which is nice. Even though it's not technically a heart, it still works as a heart. Alright, Lucky King, yes please. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and get the full double our money. Well, $20. I'm not gonna add that 9 of clubs. It's trying to get me to add clubs to my deck, but I'm not going to. Alright. I'm debating whether I should get rid of Bloodstone for Photograph. Or actually, I can get rid of Blackboard for Photograph. I think that may actually work out better because with Hanging Chad, Bloodstone and Photograph should be a really dynamic duo. We'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully that's the right play. And let's see, retrigger 2 times. So I believe it's still a better play to keep Blueprint on hologram, but we might change things around and see how that changes things. All right, that is not 1 and 7. That is 4 and 8. That's half. Half of my cards are now upside down instead of 1 and 7. All right. Is not great. So I'm going to. It looks like we do have 1 lower than the 6. And so it seems like we have 4 spades and 4 hearts. which I don't love. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of those guys. We do have a flush with hearts, which we don't have blackboard anymore. But let me see how this does since we do have bloodstone. And of course, very few of those actually trigger to get 1.5 multi, but that's okay. We still wanted one hand. Alright, what's our boss blind going to be? Forces one card to always be selected. That's actually not that bad. We can deal with that. We'll go ahead and get our planet merchant. See if we can find a flush in here. Thankfully we did. And hologram is beefed up enough that I'm not going to add any of those in there. So I'm going to go ahead, go in there. I'm going to skip to get negative. The only time I don't is if it's in the big blind right before our boss blind in ante 8. And go ahead and play this. And yeah, over a million. I was going to say you're 1 in a million, but why not? We'll get Sly Joker, even though he's really not going to add value. Get Hanged Man. And we're going to get our Queen of Spades multi because we're right before our boss blind at ante 8. We're not going to endless, and so our steel card with the blue seal won't, I mean, the fact that it's a steel card might still help some, but this way we have a better chance of getting a multi-queen for Hanging Chad. And because it is right before our boss blind, we are going to go down all the way to 0. I think I'm going to get rid of Justice and get Death. Could go bananas if we wanted to, but that is not the right play right now. I'm going to go ahead and level up hologram a little bit more. Oh, that's 4 of a kind. I was going to say, if that's the flush one, I definitely would get that over some of our others. So I have to do something with this card. So I am going to use Death to convert it into a Queen of Hearts. And that way I get my flush with hearts. And that should be well over what we need, yeah. Alrighty. 2 wins in just over an hour. Not bad at all. I'm going to switch to our tracker. Save it. Copy paste. Got to copy paste values, so it saves those for me. I think I have to copy this again. We ended. And then let's see, we have 1, 3, 4, 8, 7, 0, 4. Flush, surprise, surprise. Played that 28 times. 140 cards played, 49 discards, 65 purchases, 24 rerolls, 8 new discoveries. Made it to ante 9, round 20. We were not defeated. We had $6 left in our pocket, and I don't know if we had any achievements. And since we're not going into endless, we'll go to the main menu and see if we got any achievements or any unlocks. So I really need to get better at my arrowhead. That's the name of that Joker. And we unlocked, let's see, Illusion. And let's see, at the end we had Hanging Chad, Bloodstone, Photograph. We got rid of Blackboard. We had Blueprint. We got a negative Sly Joker. And we had Hologram. Awesome. So that is all of that tracked. I think that is all for me today. I really appreciate you being here. Playing the Checkered Deck, we got 2 wins on 2 tries. We won our first attempt at white stake and our first attempt at red stake, so that was a lot of fun. For those of you who didn't see the first game, it was insane. I got so many things right. Like, I think I got Hang Chad, Photograph, Sock and Buskin, and Smiley Face, like, really early on. And so that game was super smooth, super fun, and got to play flushes the whole time. This game was a little bit different, but we still had fun. We won and unlocked a couple new things. So I hope you will join me on Saturday for our next stream, where I will be going over the data, and I will also be showing my progress towards the mod that I'm building. So instead of tracking manually like you just saw, I will be building a way to do that automatically. And right now I have that with the run start and run end information, and got the Joker tracker working for the most part. I haven't been able to test out like if we have um, something where you can duplicate a Joker, but I am working on that, having a lot of fun doing it, learning a lot, and hope that I can help you all learn too. So tune in Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern for all of that. If you say no math, no data for me, and just like the Balatro, come back on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much. See you next time.